You're listening to Beyond the Feed, the podcast where we break down exactly how we use cinematic photo and video to build trust, visibility, and authority for real businesses on social media.
We're Parker and Justin from Prime Edge Media. We created the Trust Catalyst content marketing system to help mission-driven brands stop looking invisible and start showing up like the business they actually are.
No theory, no fluff, just real strategy pulled straight from the work that we do in the field every single week.
If you care about how your brand shows up online, you're in the right place.
So without further ado, quiet on set please, and action. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Feed. So today, obviously, if you're watching this on video, you can see that I am solo today. So this is the very first one that I've ever had to do on my own. Justin isn't feeling well. So today is going to be a pretty short and sweet one, but I want to talk about something that I've been hearing in the field so much. And it just, like I understand why this is a question, but it gets incredibly frustrating to have to continue going over it because humans naturally second guess themselves a ton. And the thing is, we've talked about this a billion times before. The spotlight effect is a real thing. If you don't know what that is, it's essentially what we refer to as humans being the main character of their own story. Humans, obviously, the only point of view that we ever get for the 80, 90, 100 years of our lives is the point of view of us. So the only point of view that we get to the world is through our eyes, unfortunately. So we tend to think, especially with things like social media, that everyone sees what we post because we do. And that is just so far from the case. So the reason that I bring this up is because this week we've had 3 of our clients ask the exact same question. Hey, can we change up, what we're doing because, I had this client or this friend or this aunt's, uncle's, dog's, goldfish's babysitter said that, I just keep posting the same stuff. And it's well, here's the thing, is the reason those people are those people to you, the reason that those people are your clients or people that follow you in your business is because you have built a brand around being the guy who does that stuff. So, for instance, if you're a realtor, then you are the realtor guy. If you're a, social media marketer, you are the social media marketing guy. I talk about the exact same stuff over and over and over. In fact, I do the exact same thing on this podcast because we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. So I just want, if nothing else, for this video to serve as your permission to keep doing the same thing. Because let's be real, if you changed up your offer every week, no one would know what the hell you do. So that goes for your messaging too on social. Because if you're constantly posting about the same thing, actually, there's a better way to explain this. So think about what your social media feed looks like. When you scroll through it, you're looking at probably I don't know, depending on what you follow, sports or your family or your friends, maybe some accounts in the industry that you work in, maybe some Facebook groups about random hobbies that you have, maybe some politics, maybe some breaking news, and you have all of that stuff being just poured out at you, aside from all the memes and the trendy crap that no one really wants to look at, but we all do because we're bored and lethargic while we're doom scrolling. We get bombarded with all of that type of content every single day. And that's our feed. But when we go to look at our own feed of what we have posted, it all looks the same. So you're well, man, why do I want to do that? Why can't I just go post more different stuff? I mean, people are going to get bored of this. I promise you they won't. The only people that are going to get bored of it are going to be you, your team members, and the people who have already given you money, which is the whole reason they gave you money in the first place, is because you've established your brand as being that guy. So please do not be afraid to say the same thing in 1,000 different ways. That's exactly how the biggest brands on earth have grown. Like McDonald's, they haven't changed their slogan in, I don't know, ever, And like Coke hasn't changed how they market things in ever. Well, aside from when, they were, I think it was like caffeinated alcohol or something is what Coke started out as in like the 1800s. But anyway, in the last, I would probably say 100 years, they haven't changed how they market, and it's the exact same thing for every big brand that you know. They do the same thing over and over. Like, I know a lot of you around West Michigan shop at Meijer. Does Meijer have to constantly change up their messaging to get you to come back? No, you just go to Meijer because that's what Meijer is. It's a grocery store. It's where you buy all your shit for the week, So we have to think about ourselves in the exact same way. People don't see what you post. People don't know who you are. People don't know what you do. They don't know what makes you different. They don't know why they should buy from you. And if you're not constantly repeating that same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over, no one is going to retain it. Therefore, no one's going to trust you. Therefore, you're going to fall off into the abyss of noise that all of your competitors exist in. And you don't want that. So that's pretty much my whole rant that I had for today. Justin and I were going to talk about this because it's crazy the amount of people that don't understand this. But I understand why. I totally understand why it's such a hard concept to grasp. But this is why I always harp on human psychology. When you're marketing, you have to think about what other humans are experiencing in the medium that you want them to watch the content in. So if we're in, I don't know, let's just say Facebook, because it's one of our favorite platforms. If you're in Facebook, what are you seeing when you're scrolling? You're not seeing stuff about businesses constantly. And that also goes back to the whole thing about hooks and you have to earn the right to get people to watch your content. Because if you don't, and if you don't pull their curiosity and you don't make them want to continue watching, you're never going to be able to get to the point where you can start talking about your thing. Because your thing is super important to you, And for me, for instance, internally, we've been restructuring our offer for the last probably 2 or 3 months. And we just need to roll this damn thing out. My entire team is so sick of hearing about this from me. Because it's just being worked on little by little every single day. We're having a ton of meetings about it, and everything is going in that direction, but it's all that we've been talking about. And more specifically, all that I've been talking about because it's been my project. So, but I bet not a single one of you knew that we're changing our offer because we just don't talk about it in the place that you consume content. So that's just a huge thing that you guys have to think about. And I almost I try to think about this as the days before phones, before everyone was connected at the hand, everyone just has the entire world in their pocket. Before that happened, if you, and I'll just use a crazy example to drive this home. I would say in the 40s or 50s or whatever, I can only imagine if you cheated on somebody, for example, all you have to do is move 20 miles that way and you start a whole new life and no one knows who you are, because you don't exist in that world. And the people in your current world, your local community, you disappear, they never see you again because they don't go outside that sphere. So the same thing goes for social media. If you are constantly posting about the one thing that you do, then people are only going to associate you with that one thing. But if they only see a couple posts from you every once in a while, and then you change up how you say things, and you change up what you do, and you change up how you talk about it, well, then no one's going to know what you do. So, anyway, point being, please do not be afraid to post about the same stuff all the time because you kind of need to. if you want people to know what you do and constantly want to keep buying from you, or you want more people to find out who you are, you want people to refer you, well, you have to be that guy. And you don't become that guy or girl or whoever without consistently posting about the exact same thing. Hope that helps. If you guys have any questions, let us know down below. And if you like this podcast, please share it with someone who you think could benefit from it. We don't make any money off this podcast. We don't monetize it at all. This is literally just our way of giving back to the community, because in reality, I don't know of a single podcast that does this in our sector that actually only speaks about the things that they see out in the real world. We don't talk theory here. We don't talk about anything that's written in a book. We don't talk about those things here. Instead, we just talk about what we're seeing out in the community and out while we're doing this work, and bringing it to you so that hopefully it helps you. If you want to stay connected with us and you haven't already, join our private Facebook group, the Beyond the Feed Inner Circle community. That is where you can find a bunch of behind the scenes content. You get early uploads. So all the uploads go live on Friday for our Inner Circle group, but they don't go live until Monday for the rest of the public. So if you want all of those things and the opportunity to have your questions answered on live Q&As and so many more things, please join that. It is free. It's in the link below. And if you guys have anything that you want us to talk about, or any burning questions or anything like that, please let us know, and we'll see you in the next one.